Hey guys, this is Michael Tarallo with Qlik. In this video, I will cover how you can work with selections in Qlik Sense. When you perform selections with Sense, you're doing more than just filtering data. You are revealing associations which help promote discovery. Focal points and outliers that would otherwise go unnoticed seem to pop out front and center. Now, granted at the same time you are reducing your answer set to the desired selections, but you are not completely divorcing yourself from the data, as is common with traditional BI query tools and top-down filtering approaches. Qlik's patented associative index engine knows your data. It maintains the relationship and provides visual indicators that help you easily see what values are selected, what values are possible, what values are related, and what values are not. These indicators are displayed with the colors green, white, and shades of gray, the foundation of what we call the associative experience. So let me cover some of the ways that selections can occur within a Qlik Sense app. Chart objects, filter panes, and list boxes are the primary ways you work with selections within an app. You have the ability to pick, search, select ranges, and even lasso individual data points. How you organize them is up to you. There is also the Global Smart Search feature that uses keywords to assist you in your navigation path when you know what questions to ask but simply don't know where to start. And then there's the Global Selections interface. This allows you to view and interact with all of the dimensions available in your dataset without having to clutter your dashboard. It comes in really handy when searching for related and unrelated data too. And the Current Selections bar easily maintains your selections along with various options to aid in the selection process. Let's go to a simple app to see some of this in action. Okay, in this app I'm just going to demonstrate the power of green, white, and shades of gray utilizing these list boxes, and then I have a couple examples just to show you how the information is displayed with the visual indicators. Then I'll go into another example that basically shows some more of the features I mentioned earlier. So simply, if I select fruit for category, you can see that my item dimension updates. The white indicating that apples, bananas, and oranges and watermelon are part of the fruit category. Lettuce, pepper, squash, and tomato are not. Those are highlighted in dark gray. At the same time, if we were looking at sales metrics for these dimensions, we can see that we don't have any fruit associated with the Western location. So if I initially set out to learn about fruit sales, instead of trying to say, let me filter on the Western region and see if there were any sales, I simply just clicked fruit, and by looking at the visual indication within the list box, the dark gray tells me immediately that there weren't any sales there, which can then prompt my next question. The light gray is showing me that this is also a possible selection. So obviously if I click vegetable, now we have all of the items and all the colors, but also notice that West is also not selected again or highlighted in dark gray. That indicates that there aren't any vegetable sales, again prompting me to ask that next question. So at this point, if I uncheck fruit and we leave vegetables, you can see the items update and sort accordingly. And then the same concepts here. It works with any selection and you can start anywhere within the app. Okay, you're not going down a linear path. So if I wanted to say, well, let's just see what items are associated in my metrics with red, I click red and you can see the updates appropriately. So what this is telling me is my selection is red. There are other possible selections within my list. The locations, north and south, have sold red objects, east and west have not. The items that were red are apples, peppers, and tomatoes, and they belong to both the categories of fruit and vegetables. So a lot of information reveals itself almost immediately with one simple click. Note that you also have the ability to aid within the selection process, such as clicking select possible, selecting alternatives, so you can see the difference in the metrics, select excluded, and so forth. The toolbar across the top offers those same capabilities. You can search as well in any of these list boxes simply by just clicking on the search icon and typing in the value you're looking for. And at times it might be necessary to lock your selections depending on what search approaches you're using. For example, global search requires you to lock your current selections before using the global search. Okay, so let's go to the next sheet and just show you some of these layouts. So this is a horizontal layout of individual list boxes in a filter pane. So this allows a little bit of the pop-up selection, if you will. If I go into edit mode, just to show you, it's in a filter pane, so you can adjust this the way I want and make it vertical on this side here. Okay, so filter panes allow you to put individual dimensions that you could control in this cascading manner. All right, so going over to the selection model app that I created just for this video, We talked about the powers of green, white, and gray. Well, there's also these visual indicators that show you that green, white, and gray. Let's say you can't fit all of that information in one screen. If I select 2012 and confirm that selection, you'll see these bars. These bars indicate that the selection has been made, but there are other possible selections using that color scheme that I mentioned, such as the year 2012 is selected, but other years are possible. Such as there are other countries that are possible within that year 2012, but there is one country, as you can see from this dark gray piece, that is not associated with that value of 2012, and so forth for customer and contact name. So this comes in really handy when you're selecting a number of different values and you're not sure how the data relates. Notice how I just selected those values, and you can see I have customers that are selected, customers that are possible, and then customers that don't exist or not related to my current selections. So it comes in very handy. Right here I have a list box that just shows the postal code. So hopefully by now you're seeing the power of the gray or the shades of gray as well as the green and white. Other selection capabilities through chart objects is simply just by clicking the bars. You have the ability to select ranges based on the axes. You have the ability to utilize lassoing to select individual objects or data points. Those are all available within different types of charts, if you will. Current selection bar, you can go back, you can go forward, you can clear the bar as well. And as I mentioned in the introduction, the global selections list allows you to see all of the dimensions that are available without having to clutter your desktop. So any information that is selected will be displayed on top, but then you can see all of the relationships within the other dimensions. Even though they're not selected or part of the dashboard, you can still make your particular analyses and answer those particular questions by looking at the green, white, and shades of gray within the list boxes. And then finally, you have your global search. As I mentioned earlier, you just start typing in the particular keywords you're looking for, and it will display with some suggestions. It'll give you a ranked list. I'm not going to go into too much detail. There's a separate video that goes into this into more detail. Okay, so hopefully this was helpful to you guys. If you have any questions or comments, please post them in the comments section. And I look forward to seeing you at the next video. Thanks for your time.